isn't too loud. I did like a test snip clip, and I don't think that it was, but I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell with like 5 seconds. I'm hoping that this comforter will kind of insulate the noise coming from behind me. Anyway, hi. Hello. Welcome back to this revived channel. I am on the ASMR, and this is the second video that I will have posted this week after like almost 2 years off. It's definitely been over 1,000 days, as somebody pointed out in the comments. 1,000 days. Not 10,000 days. That's a Tool reference in case anybody listens to that band. But anyway, the main thing that I want to say in this video on this evening is a great big bad thank you, and a big wow, holy crap, because of the completely unexpected response to the last video that I posted. You guys, are you serious? Like, the way that you were teasing me in the comments, somebody said, because I had said this video is probably going into the void, and somebody quoted that and then said like, yeah, right, or whatever, because I haven't posted a video, like I said, in like over 1,000 days, almost 3 years. And so I was not expecting anybody to find the video. I didn't expect it to show up in anyone's algorithm, be on anybody's like homepage or whatever. Like, I didn't expect any of you lovely people who used to watch my videos to find out about it at all. And you did, and you watched it, you engaged with it, you liked it, you commented, and made it my highest performing video in terms of engagement within the X number of days that it's been since I posted. It's been like 3 days since I posted it. And out of all of the videos that I've ever posted on this channel, that video, the first and only video that I posted after so long being gone, has been the most well-performing in terms of like that metric out of any video that I have ever made. It has the most comments a big fat thank you, 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 thank you so much, because that was crazy and overwhelming. Like every day since I've been able to go back to that video, like subscribers are increased and there's more comments that I can respond to, and it's been so nice kind of going back and forth and talking with you guys in the comments of that video. It's just wild because I didn't think that anyone was gonna see it, and then I thought that I would feel silly. Like, obviously everyone is moved on, and then I probably wasn't gonna have posted again, but now that's like super encouraging, so I'm here again. Ta-da. I'm here again in another hotel room. Hopefully you did not just hear the sound of the door, the latch, that I think was just next door to me. I just heard the door open, because I am in another hotel room. This time I am not in New York City. I got back from that trip like I had took 2 full days off after I got back from that trip, and then I started another trip this morning. I reported to the airport at 6:05 a.m. and then I worked the flight from Minneapolis to Boston, and then I worked the flight from Boston to Los Angeles, which is where I am now, back in my home state of California, not in my hometown of San Diego, but just a few, maybe 2 hours north of San Diego in Los Angeles, a place that I am very familiar with and have spent a lot of time in, being born and raised in San Diego County. LA County is the next one up, and I've been here a lot, and it's really nice to be in California. Something about this hotel feels very LA, very Los Angeles, and I'll explain why, because I think the lighting in this video looks kinda good. Maybe I'm not wrong, maybe it does look kinda good. You can let me know in the comments. I tried to turn off all of the lights in the hotel, and then I just have one lamp light, so like the mood behind me is hopefully a little bit darker, but the lamp that I'm using for light right now, it's not like a normal lamp with like a bulb and a lamp shade. It's like a ring light, except it's not in the shape of a ring. It's just a big circle with light coming out of the center, and you can angle it like a beam. It's just kind of like a spotlight, not a ring light, but it's like a set light. It's not, but you can kind of employ it as one, which just feels very Los Angeles. That's the kind of lighting that's here in the hotel room. But it worked out nicely. Today, in general, worked out nicely. I'm flying flight lead position for this whole rotation, which ends tomorrow. I'm working with 3 other flight attendants, and I'm the lead, which was interesting today because I flew, obviously United States flights that I'm taking, but we were on an aircraft that has an international first class cabin configuration. Even though it's a domestic wide body, it's typically flown for short haul internationals, which is why it has that upgraded international cabin, even though most of our international transoceanic international routes are flown on wide bodies. The kind of planes that have 2 aisles versus a narrow body, the kind of plane that has 1 aisle. Some of our short haul transoceanics are flown on narrow body aircraft, such as the Boeing 757S series, which is the one that I was on today. And I've only been on that specific aircraft having the premium international first class cabin configuration once before, and it was when I flew from JFK to Iceland, Reykjavik, which was a really awesome trip because I've always wanted to go to Iceland, and I got to go. This was several months ago now. That's one of the really cool things about my job is that I am Minneapolis based, but that doesn't mean that I can only fly trips out of Minneapolis. Because Minneapolis we don't fly everywhere in the world out of Minneapolis. We have all kinds of other hubs that fly to all kinds of other international, worldwide destinations. So, at the time, Minneapolis didn't fly direct to Iceland. We do now. I think it's seasonal. But at the time we didn't. But JFK did, and I think always does. So, I had 5 days off in my schedule. And so I looked at New York trips that needed flight attendants assigned to them. I saw Iceland. I picked up that trip, and then I commuted to New York JFK, and then I worked the flight to Reykjavik, Iceland, and then I had a long layover there, sightseeing, and it was fantastic. Anyway, that trip is 5 hours. It was definitely less than 6. It was low 5 hours, 5.5 hours, if I remember correctly. So it's a very short haul international trip. Very short. Your JFK Iceland's less than 6 hours. Your Minneapolis to Amsterdam, London, Paris, those are all in the 7 to 8, a little bit more than 8 hour range. Your Minneapolis to Incheon, South Korea is, I think when I did that one, it was 15. I just spat a little bit. That was gross. When I flew that trip, it was 15 hours, a little bit more than 15 hours. Going eastbound, it's a little bit less. Any place that you're going to and fro, the eastbound is always shorter. Which is the difference between head and tailwinds. Anyway, but it was 15 for the longer leg going to Incheon, South Korea, and then I have not been fortunate enough yet to go to other places like Japan, but I think that one is even longer. Point being, as far as transoceanic international trips go, 5 hours or less, or 6 hours or less, is on the extremely short end. So it's a smaller plane, but it still has that premium cabin. And then sometimes you'll see that being flown domestically, which is what happened today. Now, the way that you perform a flight domestically is different than when you fly it internationally. But apparently, rather than treating this international configured cabin as a domestic, since we are flying domestic, we elevate our service to treat it as international, if that makes sense. So everything that we did in the first class cabin was done the way of an international flight. But a flight leader on an international flight is not called a flight leader. They're called a purser. And it's another higher level of qualification and training and interviewing. It's not just something that you express interest in and then you go through the steps to become. It's another interview process, getting accepted into this program. There's more training, and I think you have to be a flight attendant for like 3 years before you're even eligible to swing for that. So I am not a purser. I've worked many a time under many a wonderful purser that I've learned a lot from on all of the times that I have flown internationally, but I've never stepped into that role, and I didn't today. I wasn't a purser today, but it was very challenging for me to just pick and pull from everything that I've learned and observed. But it worked out. I had a great assist on my crew that was working directly with me. She's like brand new, and she was just taking all of my direction. And it was funny because when I first started working internationals, you have to go to a briefing with the crew before you work the flight. And like when I first started flying internationally, the only thing that I would do when I showed up to the briefing, the only thing that I had to contribute was telling all of these more senior individuals that, like, I'm new, I don't have a lot of experience with international flying, but I'm not sensitive. And I'm telling you right now, I don't know what I don't know, but I'm not sensitive. So if I'm screwing up, or if I look clueless, or if there's anything about the way that I am going about my tasks, whether it's that I'm doing it incorrectly or I'm just not doing it the way that you want it done, push me around. Tell me to shape up, do this, do that. You don't have to spare any extra moments for niceties. Just dictate, tell me what you want. And I worked with people who had so much experience that they had down pat what works, what the standard is, how we do that efficiently, and never was anybody impolite, but they were exactly what I needed them to be. They were just a little bit, I don't want to say militant, but just, they gave me exactly that. They gave me clear direction, free of like fluttery chitter chatter. They were just like, do this, I want it done this way. After you do that, you do this, and we'll get it done. And it was efficient, and it really helped me learn. So when I got to today, I was working with this girl who's new, and I was new, but I felt like I kind of knew, like, okay, this is the help that I want. I need you to be here, do this. And I told her, I was like, we're gonna work together, and if I seem stressed, it's because I am stressed, but I like you, I respect you, and if I seem flustered, it's literally because I am. So we're just gonna have each other's backs and rock this out. And it worked out perfectly fine. It worked out beautifully, and it was a really good learning experience. That being said, I am glad that I don't do the same thing again tomorrow, because we flew 6 hours from Boston to Los Angeles, and tomorrow I go Los Angeles to Salt Lake, and from Salt Lake to Minneapolis. So it's not gonna be another one of those. It's just gonna be 2 normal flights that I've done many times. Alright, I needed a drink. I look so silly. Did I even address the comforter? Like, I'm trying to insulate from the sound of the AC behind me, but it's also just like I wanted to feel cozy. I wanted the video to look and feel cozy, and then I wanted to feel cozy because, like I said in the last video, I love the snow. That's one thing that I do love about Minnesota, and I've been excited and waiting for it to come back ever since it left us in April. And earlier this week, the weather forecast said that snow was going to return to Minnesota today, Friday the 27th. It didn't. I checked the weather app on like Wednesday, Thursday, and by that point, it no longer said that snow was coming Friday. But it does say that it is supposed to come back tomorrow, Saturday, so hopefully when I get home, it'll be snowing, and I can just feel the cozy vibes and snuggle up with a blanket. So that's just kind of what I'm like manifesting / trying to insulate from the sound of the AC / like maybe the fabric sound nice. But it's definitely not snowing here. It is definitely not snowing in Los Angeles, but the weather is nice. It was not hot today. It was breezy and mild. And the only thing that I wanted to do was eat street tacos. And that's exactly what I did. Got to the hotel, came upstairs, changed my outfits. I was messaging the girls on my crew. 2 of them have never been to the West Coast before and have never been to In-N-Out, so they went to In-N-Out, which is so cute. Obviously, I was born and bred on In-N-Out, and I love In-N-Out, and I get In-N-Out every time I come home to visit my family. And I will say, In-N-Out is my favorite cheeseburger, but it is still just a cheeseburger, and you can get good cheeseburgers in Minnesota. Minnesota is the home of that, like a Juicy Lucy burger. That was like the first and only thing that I did. When I came to Minneapolis, I had to go to like a flight attendant base orientation, and one of my friends from training and I went to Matt's Bar that claims to be the home of that burger, and we had like a beer and fries and that burger, and it was good. It was fine. Can't really screw up a cheeseburger, but you can screw up Mexican food, and they're just not good Mexican food in Minnesota. I think I mentioned that in the last video. It's just not good. All of what I've had so far is just not good. It's not as flavor packed. It's definitely not spicy, and the tortillas are lacking. So, to me, there's something special with the Mexican food that I can get here on the West Coast, in California, in Southern California, San Diego, and Los Angeles. And so that's all I wanted to do with my layover, and that's exactly what I did. So the street taco place that I like by where we stay here is not far past the In-N-Out, so we all walk together. And two of the girls branched off at In-N-Out, and myself and the other one went to the street taco place. It's in a parking lot under a tent, and they just cook outside. And the last time I went there, I had like 5 tacos and a molita, and then I think at that time I think they were doing champurrado, and then I went back for seconds. I do remember that I went back for seconds, because they're street tacos. I eat them in 2 bites flat, and then molita's like a little bigger, but whatever. I loved it, and I had seconds. And I did the same thing today. I started with 4 tacos. I got an asada, I got lengua, and I got chorizo and cabeza, and then I got molita with pastor, and then I got horchata, and then I ate all of that, and I was like full, but I wasn't like sick to my stomach full. And I kind of wanted to be like, oh my god, I can't even look at this anymore full, because it's gonna be a minute before I get to have it again. So I wanted to like eat myself sick, like eat enough of it that I was not gonna be in the mood for it until the next time I had a chance to get it. So I went back and I got like 2 or 3 more tacos, and this I'm still nursing my drink, and it's so good. Sometimes I don't like horchata if it's kind of like grainy, and I think it's just like sometimes I can feel the cinnamon, and a lot of it's like at the bottom with this one, and maybe that's why like just the right amount is in the drink and all the rest of it's at the bottom. But this one's really good. It doesn't feel like gritty. I didn't get it last time. I definitely got the champurrado last time. I remember it being a hot drink, but they didn't have that this time. Also, I could be completely wrong. I might not even know what champurrado is, but last time I got a drink that was hot, and it wasn't this, but it was good, but they didn't have it this time. And normally I always get Jamaica, but today, I don't know, I wanted like a sweet treat, and this is perfect. That's basically it. I mean, I say that's basically it as if I was concluding mixed ramble. It was not half soft spoken and half whisper. It was all whisper. Dare I say, it was almost an unintelligible whisper. I think you could hear me the whole time and understand what I was saying, but it was a very quiet whisper. Hopefully you liked this video. I liked making it, and just to reiterate, the only part of this video in which I did have a point, allow me to say again, the biggest thank you from the bottom of my heart to all of you who came by to watch the last video and showed me so much incredible love and support on it. Like I said, that was just so entirely unexpected and delightful and wonderful. I just was not expecting that at all, and it was fantastic and meant so much to me. So I hope this can mean even just a little bit to you, that I thank you, and hopefully you'll stick around for more videos. Let me know how you're liking the new content. Let me know how you're doing in the comments down below. That is something that I would like to know. And just make sure you're subscribed. Subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to the channel. Please. And then like the video if you like. But make sure you're subscribed. And let me know how you've been in the comments below. But I think that's all for now.